I was born and raised in California. And when you talk about the black community and the Hispanic community, it's like oil and water. Don't get me wrong, Northern California is a lot better than Southern California, but the results remain the same. Blacks are on this side, even in the same neighborhood, and the Hispanics are on the other side. The Hispanics vote with their best interests, and blacks do the same. But the East Coast is a little different. There are not so many Mexicans in New York and Philadelphia, but you do have Dominicans, you do have Puerto Ricans, and many of these individuals grow up with blacks. They have a closer relationship to each other on the East Coast than we do to Hispanics on the West Coast. And so when you talk about the camaraderie that these communities have, there is more of a bond. And that bond has been shared in hip hop from MCs such as Cuban Links, Fat Joe, and Big Punisher, just to name a few. But stop the show. We still see there's some hatred coming towards the African American community.
Hey, politics with Laura, politics with Laura, politics with Laura. Okay, I have a question. It's a very simple question. Is there a such thing called a black-brown coalition? Does that even exist? I would say, in my personal belief, no. But it's not about what I think, it's about what you think. Now, if you look politically, and when I say look politically, really look politically, look outside of your personal experience and look outside of your just everyday life, and look at what is really going on. Who are getting the tangibles and who are not? That's all that I ask. So is it really a black-brown coalition? And is it just simply one way, or is it reciprocal? What do you think?
That question is so fantastic. Is there a black and brown coalition? Politically, we see that it's not, but we have kind of seen it in hip hop, especially in the East Coast. And everything was going to plan until Tariq Nasheed dropped his Microphone Check documentary, which basically proved that African Americans, or hashtag FBA, were the originators of hip hop as a genre. This was not to discredit other people for their contributions to the genre. It was just to say that African Americans, or the Negro, or hashtag FBA, created this particular genre. And this caused some controversy.
Let me show you some of the articles of the pushback. All right, let me show y'all some of the articles of the pushback right here. Fat Joe receives backlash for saying hip hop was created by both blacks and Latinos. Now, Fat Joe has been out here saying that, he's been doubling down hard on the lie. Hip hop was created by black and Latinos 50-50. Hip hop was created by blacks and Latinos half and half. That is a blatant lie. And he knows it's a lie. And everybody who promotes that know it's a lie, because when you start asking for receipts, nobody has receipts for it.
It's definitely a lie. When I do my research, hip hop, a lot of the hip hop like dances and the beats really came from like down south, then migrated into like New York, the Bronx, and that's when they get the scratching and the b-boy stuff. And that's where it developed into what hip hop is today. So no, the Latinos were the people that adapted to it, but it did not start it.
This caused a lot of strife in the hip hop community, especially with popular Puerto Rican rapper Fat Joe. He been taking a few shots at Tariq Nasheed and even went so far as to block him.
Family, this thing is shutting it down big time. And you know it's shutting it down because right after Microphone Check came out, your boy Fat Joe started blocking everybody. My brother Mikhail hit me up. He was like, hey, Tariq, Fat Joe is blocking everybody now. I think Fat Joe went around just looking for anybody with an FBA hashtag or FBA in their profile. And he just started blocking people and blocked me. I'm like, wow, I've never interacted with Fat Joe. Fat Joe did like what Yvette Carnell does. She just starts preemptively blocking people, even if you've never interacted with her, just by association. So Fat Joe blocked everybody. So if you guys are listening here, if y'all listening to me, Fat Joe probably has you blocked and you don't even know it.
Then Fat Joe pulled up at the Matt Hoffa podcast, which kind of has like a black barbershop feel. And out of the blue, in the interview, Fat Joe says this.
These rumors were made by radical black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them. Right. Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't Black American. Who are these guys? You want me to say their name? We're going to give them too much clout. I mean, the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the these broke is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And this shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this who run them? Like, your leader? Oh, man, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man.
So Tariq Nasheed responded in kind.
Because we are in the middle of a massive delineation movement, and we are recognizing our lineage and our history. Shout out to Juicy. I see you, beloved. Because we are recognizing and paying homage to our lineage and our history as foundational Black Americans, we are not allowing people to co-opt things from us, to steal parts of our culture, to exploit parts of us in our culture. Those days are over. We as foundational Black Americans, we've been exploited, used, abused, and it has not been reciprocal. We sit up here and share our culture with everybody, and then they turn around and shut us out of the cultures that we created. Family, we created country music. Now we have our great foundational Black American artists like Beyonce, who has been snubbed repeatedly by the country community, so-called country community, the white country community, music community. And she had the hottest country album of the year. They were real funny style about Beyonce acting like she was an outsider to a culture that her lineage created.
Now you heard Fat Joe. Now Fat Joe really disrespected a lot of people by calling the FBAs broke and all of that. But I think Tariq Nasheed stated the position of why blacks or FBAs are behaving the way that they do. He talked about several examples of the country music genre where you can see African Americans have been credited with some formation of that. Look at rock and roll, Chuck Berry and helping Elvis Presley creating that genre, then only to be excluded. And when you look at Fat Joe, he's a Puerto Rican. He's not black. He might be cool with a few black people, but he's not black. And now what you're seeing is a genre that African Americans or the FBAs have created also being taken from them when Fat Joe is upset about that. And remember the earlier clip I played about the tangibles. All the tangibles are going to the people who are writing this revisionist history. Everything is basically being rewritten now. And remember when this popular Latino actor said this?
Well, I mean, Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country. We suffered in this country. We were oppressed, and we're thriving. We add $2.8 trillion to the GDP every year. If we were our own country, we'd be the 5th largest economy in the world, bigger than England, bigger than Italy, bigger than Brazil. And that's just in America. So I found Latin excellence all over America, in Chicago, in DC, in Miami, in Puerto Rico, in LA, in New York. And we ate, we danced, and we celebrated because nobody knows how to enjoy life as good as Latinos.
That's interesting. All of a sudden, John Leguizamo, who is a Colombian and got his start really with a lot of the blacks in the black comedy circuit, he's now saying that they built this country. Like, do you understand the revisionist history in that? They built America. I don't think they were on any slave ships. They were not in the cotton fields. Not to say that they didn't contribute to the culture of America, and they do work hard as Latino people. We're not taking it away from them. They're now the biggest voting bloc. But it's not really cool to say that they initially built America. They may be helping America build now or in the past 100 years, but if you want to talk about who had the blood, sweat, and tears and fought in every war, they were not Hispanics. They were blacks, or hashtag FBA. And another thing that people are kind of pissed off about is what's going on with all this laughing in the background from Mav Hoffa.
Now listen, right? We understand FBA, that is our thing right then and there. You feel what I mean? And now Fat Joe wanted to be talking about we being divisive and stuff like that. And then again, rather than again, you know what I mean? Fat Joe was talking about they bunch of broke niggas saying the N-word, nigga this, nigga that. And then at the same time, Mav Hoffa got the nerve to be sitting there, yo, just literally laughing the shit off. And I'm talking about, you're not even trying to check this brother, yo. And see, that right there, Math Hoffa, you lost a lot of cool points, yo, and you lost so much respect, you know what I'm saying, for like a lot of people, man, because think about it though, yo. If we was think about it, you cannot go up on a Latino platform to where so you can be saying any type of racial term, any kind of like racial terms and this, that, and the third. And of course, you know what I'm saying, you supposed to be a black man any damn way. And see, now coming to find out, you know what I mean, he from the West Indies, he got West Indian culture. Now, right now, I can really see why, you know what I mean, you laughing at it. Because it's like, yo, for number one, that's way out of line. And you've been around our people and you've been inside of our culture, you know what I mean, a battle, right, for a very long time. And you've been amongst our people for a very long time. And it's like, now you want to be flipping like this and you don't even check Fat Joe? Like, come on.
Like, hold on, bruh. You know people who are hashtag FBA, and you can't say that you don't know, because everybody knows this terminology by now on the internet, and you're laughing. And so what the brothers are saying is, okay, because you're now a Caribbean, you think it's funny. This is where people are kind of showing their hand, and it's still letting people know, like, as far as those in the FBA community, like, okay, we really don't have any friends. And I don't really believe that that's all the way true. But again, it's starting to make brothers and sisters feel like that, especially who are from the community. A lot of brothers and sisters were open to working with other groups. And what we see is we don't get very much from the other groups, but they get a lot from us. And let me tell you this, man, I love my time here in Uganda. I've been living in Africa for a long time. I've been here for 6 or 7 years. I love it. I've made some great people here. But again, when you talk about what, you know, people get from us and what we give to them, it's always more on our side. I talk about it all the time. When we come to Africa, we're supposed to give more. Even in America, to have relations with Africa, we have to give more. We're always the one making the sacrifice to have the relationship with everybody else. And as it seems, you know, hey, you know, Africans can come to the United States, they benefit off our struggles. When we come to, you know, to Africa, hey, we're outsiders. We don't get the benefit from anything that they have done. They keep you out of those things. And that's true. You know, they can benefit from what we have. And when it's time for them to reciprocate many times, that's not the case. And I know that's not the case. I'm experiencing that now. I live here. This is not to say that Africans are not good people or Puerto Ricans are not good people. I'm just talking about on average, you know, we are assisting others more than they are assisting us. And it's something that we need to take serious. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. We're out.